What's up, guys? Cast catch up. A lot of free agent deals and trades the last couple of days, and I lost track of time with all the holiday stuff, so thought I would come on here and catch up with all of that. Obviously, the Braves are still quiet. So, yes, I'm getting antsy. Yes, I'm intrigued by the plan, if there is one. But we are still projected for 93.5 wins. And just a reminder, the Chris Sale trade didn't come until New Year's Eve last year. So again, there's still a lot of time, even though I know the frustration is mounting. The FOMO is here. It's been here for a while, but it is what it is. So let me go through it. Yesterday, the Phillies acquired Jesus Luzardo from the Marlins for number 4 prospect and number 23 prospect. Jesus Luzardo has dealt with a bunch of nagging myriad injuries the last couple of years, but has been solid. He's a nice left-handed piece in the Phillies rotation. I think the Phillies rotation kind of makes more sense than the Mets rotation, even though the Mets have done some retooling of that as well. I think Jesus Luzardo is a nice piece. He did have a 5 ERA last year, and again, battled different injuries, so that could be a bit of an issue, but he's got a lot of strikeouts, got a very herky-jerky delivery that is hard to pick up, got some really good stuff, especially a changeup, lefty, and you've got Zach Wheeler, Aaron Nola, Jesus Luzardo. They added also Joe Ross on a 1-year, $4 million deal. Can be a nice swingman for the rotation or the bullpen. And I think the Marlins did well, but this is like their third rebuild in a 15-year span. So we'll see what they come out of it, but it just seems like the same old Marlins, unfortunately. But hope if they commit to a rebuild fully, then it could work. But who knows? The Mets added Sean Manaea, 3 years, $75 million. Re-signed him back. There is some deferred money. But as I spoke about before, I think the Mets rotation is more of a hodgepodge, whereas the Phillies rotation makes more sense. And even the Braves, as I think we need one more, definitely, as incomplete, because you got Sean Manaea, Kodai Senga, Frankie Montas. I still am wary of that contract too, 34, and Clay Holmes, who hasn't started in the rotation before, making that transition's interesting. Obviously, Sean Manaea took the biggest step forward with the Chris Sale-esque delivery and being around the Mets, so I think it's a good deal for them. And David Peterson as well, kind of up and down in his role. So I think it's still solid, but I think it's a hodgepodge and definitely going to be interesting to see, even though that's a solid deal for them and pretty standard for the pitching market this offseason, which has been bonkers, but it is what it is at this point. The one that kind of irks me for the Braves that we couldn't get it done, or Walker Buehler said no, was he signed a 1-year, $22.05 million deal with the Boston Red Sox. That is right in the wheelhouse of Alex Anthopoulos, what he likes to do, the prove-it deal kind of thing. And Walker Buehler would have been a veteran and a nice add. And obviously we were linked to Walker and Nathan Eovaldi, but they chose obviously a different direction, and good for them. Like, that's where we don't know what exactly is going on what deals we offered. Again, it's a two-way street. So, and Walker Buehler doesn't necessarily have the greatest memories in Truist Park. Kind of tongue-in-cheek, but also kind of true. So maybe that factored in as well. But 1 year, 22.5 to Boston. I think that's really good for them. We had a lot of movement in the first base market this weekend. Paul Goldschmidt, 1 year, $12.5 million to the Yankees. I think this is a really good deal. I've always been taught that there's never a bad 1 year deal. Plus, Paul Goldschmidt is a veteran, smashes lefties still, and you're not tied to a guy long term, considering the spark that Ben Rice gave the Yankees last year. I think this is a perfect mentor / still solid defender, Gold Glover, and I think the Yankees have aced the offseason, honestly. Obviously, still got to see it play out because you don't play games on paper, but I think this is a much more well-rounded team than if they had gotten Soto, and that's why I say the Mets situation is still hodgepodge-ish, and still not sure the full extent of what they're doing necessarily. Probably going to land Pete Alonso again. I think Pete Alonso might have overplayed his market, but the first base options are getting thin, and that might play into the Mets' hands. But I don't know exactly what Pete Alonso was expecting because he has massive power, but there's a lot of strikeouts, and he's solid defensively, but nothing too special. But this could work out for the Mets in a good way for both sides, actually. But Pete Alonso is just one that I really can never figure out. But the other first baseman's Carlos Santana, 1 year, 12.5 or 13, I can't remember, back to the Guardians. It's kind of like the Braves and Jesse Chavez. It's a fit. It's a comfy blanket fit. Carlos Santana is an amazing clubhouse guy. Still can hold his own against lefties. And he was Gold Glove last year, drinking from the fountain of youth. So I think it's a perfect thing there. And then Josh Naylor going to the Diamondbacks as the replacement for Christian Walker. I like this. Josh Naylor is going to love hitting in Chase Field, and he's solid defensively, and I think this is good. The Guardians got a flame-throwing reliever that they're really good with pitching, so if Cinconi can harness his command a little bit more, he could be a definite weapon for the Guardians, plus a high draft pick and being able to get something for a guy that's going to be a free agent. A really good deal there for both sides, I think. Christian Walker, 3 years, $60 million, had his introductory press conference today for the Houston Astros. This is actually my favorite deal, one of my favorite deals of the offseason. I know Astros fans are probably having PTSD, thinking it might be another Jose Abreu thing, but I don't think so, because Christian Walker is kind of a late bloomer, Gold Glover. In terms of his hitting potential, is late bloomer, but just solid all-around hitter, power, not contact, and plate awareness and plate discipline and strike zone awareness is high. So I really like this. He's going to crush it at the Crawford boxes. I think the retooling that the Houston Astros have done is a pretty good masterclass. Dana Brown learned from the best. So I like what the Astros have done. And obviously that means Bregman is going somewhere else. Not sure where, but that'll be interesting as well. Nathaniel Lowe traded from the Rangers to the Washington Nationals for reliever Robert Garcia. This one was interesting. Nathaniel Lowe, kind of like Jesus Luzardo, has 2 years of control. Lowe struggled with injuries last year, but has been super solid for the Rangers. I think this is a really good get for the Nationals, but clearly the Rangers are retooling their roster and doing some different things, and getting a guy like Garcia in the bullpen could really help. Maddox is a great guy to kind of iron out things for Garcia, so I think this could be a win-win, and kind of sad that the Nationals are looking up for sure, and the NL East is just going to be a juggernaut and really, really hard to, it's going to be knockdown dragouts a lot of the time, every single night in the NL East, and I think that's really good for baseball. And then Jack Peterson, 2 years, $37 million, with an opt-out after next year to the aforementioned Texas Rangers. Again, they're retooling. They got Jake Berger. They acquired Jake Berger from the Marlins. They got Jack Peterson. They got Jacob Webb in the bullpen. They got Sean Armstrong today as well. And Jack Peterson, DH, outfield option. That makes me wonder if Adolis Garcia is available at all. Just because Jake Berger is primarily a DH, so is Jack Peterson at this point, maybe less so, I'm not sure, but it just seems like a clogged situation a little bit there. So maybe that's an option for the Braves or for somebody else. And Eloy Jimenez signed a minor league deal with the Rays. If anybody can fix Eloy Jimenez, it would be the Rays. If he makes the MLB roster, I believe I read it was $2 million. So a really low risk, high reward move for the Rays there as well. And Jose Trevino traded from the Yankees to the Reds, traded from the Yankees to the Reds. Catcher, good defense, good all around, good blocker, but I'm surprised they gave up Fernando Cruz. He's an absolute nasty splitter. Obviously, walks were an issue for Fernando, but he's been used to playing in a hitter-friendly ballpark, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. And Matt Blake has had a track record of reclamation projects working out with walks and such a thing. So yeah, the Yankees, 4 years of control for that type of guy. I think they really, really did a nice job with this trade and revamping their bullpen and revamping their entire team, as I said earlier. So I think that is it. I covered every single thing I could think of. If I missed something, I will cover it in the next cast catch-up. But Merry Christmas Eve to everyone. Have a great holiday, however you spend it. Family, friends, however you do it. Make sure you have fun and make memories. But as always, go Braves. Champions forever. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Helps out a lot. Thanks, guys.